Hey, Jason, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Not too bad. Hey, have you been doing any tutoring?
Not as much as I would like.
Because I haven't gotten any, what do you call it, like timesheets from you.
The hours that I did last month I think timesheets are due again. But the hours I did last month, I just didn't turn in because there weren't that many, and I figured I'd just put them on this one.
Okay, just make sure that we get it because I think it is due. Because I got it from Brian, so I just want to make sure that everybody's getting their stuff in. So
Yeah, I'll get it to you sometime, probably later this afternoon.
no problem. Where is the?
I see you switched rooms. You're in the garage now.
No, I was in the garage before. Oh, yeah, because I've been using it this week because this week my my place is just trashed. I had to had like a leaky faucet and was running back and forth to Home Depot, and all the tools and everything are all over the place in here. Let me start up my Kali box. How's everybody doing? That great?
I told Kai about that hack the box with OS ticket on it. He got a kick out of it.
About the one we did last week?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the plan this week. We're going to take a look at some Hack the Box challenges. Maybe we'll do one kind of as a group, or maybe we'll just break off into breakout rooms and let you guys kind of plug away on a few of these. So fire up your Kali, log into Hack the Box. Oh, what other thing? So if I look at the calendar, let me send all you guys a copy of the calendar. So we are the 22nd today, right? Next week is Memorial Weekend, right? We're not going to meet then because a lot of people will be out of town or doing stuff. I would like to have our last meeting on the 5th be not like a technical meeting, but like a face-to-face somewhere. You know, I'd like it if we could meet on campus and do something, but we can't. So I was just wondering if you guys would be interested in like, you know, the WIT Club is meeting at the Long Beach Creamery on the Friday the 4th. I don't know if that would be interesting to you guys, or what is it? What's that place? Oh, the Hangar. Anybody here ever go to the Hangar? Yeah, Joven, we're not going to be able to meet on campus. So LBCC still officially is in lockdown mode, and like if you go onto the campus, you have to, you know, fill out the pre-check form. It's they're still under the strictest rules. They haven't changed that at all. So we can't meet on campus. I thought we just, you know, either go to the Hangar, which is a place where, you know, there's outdoor seating. You know, people could maintain social distance, or the Long Beach Creamery, which is an ice cream place in Long Beach. They have plenty of seating outside. Or if you guys just wanted to, you know, grab a couple of pizzas and go to like Hilltop Park in Signal Hill, right? Something around Long Beach. Is that a thing that people are interested in?
What day is it again?
This would be the 5th,
Oh,
the
okay.
5th of June. So it'd be like, during our regular meeting time, because next week is Memorial Day weekend. So people might be out of town. We're not going to be meeting that day. So the 5th will be the last Saturday of the semester in 2 weeks.
I'm not sure at this time because I have something scheduled.
Okay, we don't have to. It was just an idea.
Sounds fun to me.
We'll tell you what, I'll post like a vote thing in the Slack space, right? And we'll see if people are interested.
We could bring the lock picks in our jimmies, and we could see if we could break into cars while we're up there just for fun.
Cars you wouldn't be able to do anymore. Yeah, cars they really improved the locks on them. But they yeah, that would lock picks would be an interesting thing.
Maybe we can get like a garage door opener scanner thing, and we can go around the houses up there to see which garage doors we can open.
Yeah, it's interesting how low-tech garage door openers are still. They're relatively crackable. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen. Share Kelly here. Okay, and let's go ahead and log into Hack the Box. Oh, another thing I've been looking at, and I don't know if anybody's interested in this. I've been looking at this Hack the Box Battlegrounds. There isn't much in the way of like videos kind of explaining the process. The only thing I found is from IPSEC. So Battleground. And the problem with his video, what? Let me try.
Oh, you got to do battleground. You got background.
Oh. Yeah, I think this is the one I watched. No, this is actually from okay, so I haven't seen this one. So maybe we could check this one out. Let me go ahead and grab that. And like I said, the only video I've seen, I didn't know there was an official one, was IPSEC, and he like goes so fast that you can't figure out what he's doing. He's too good at it. But the gist of it is you're in teams of 2 or 4, and you get put into a room, and there's 2 sides to it. There's hack and defense. So you're hacking the other guy's machine in order to get the root flags, and then you're hacking your own machine, or you're going into your own machine and doing the same activities to see where are the vulnerabilities. That is, there's a web page. Do they have certain can people upload files and then access them? That type of stuff. So you're patching your own vulnerabilities at the same time that you're hacking theirs. So I think it would be an interesting thing to try. The real issue is you have to you don't have to create a team. You can go in by yourself, but you have to find a team, or you have to find a match. And it's not like, if you're playing, Call of Duty or something where there's 8 million people doing it in any given point in time. So there's constantly matches starting. You might wait like 15, 20 minutes for anything to get going. But I also like the fact that it's 1 hour, right? So it's a hacking activity you can do with a time limit. So maybe that's a thing over the summer we can take a look at. The other thing John Cyclic, I think, passed so that's, oh, so this is next weekend. And this is the Layer 1 Capture the Flag, hosted by QualmTob. And there's no other information here. What did he have in his? Did you guys see that John Cyclic posted?
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I saw it, but I couldn't find a way to register.
Okay, yeah, because he just posted the link to Layer 1. So, yeah, Layer 1. We've done their stuff before. Yeah, I don't know how they don't have a schedule up if it is next week. So that, yeah, because I know that people have gone there and they have the lockpicking village. They do the capture the flag. So I have no idea what's going on with this. And it's next weekend. So we're probably not going to do that. I thought it was later. But Battlegrounds might be a thing that we could check out over the summer if people are interested in doing stuff. The other thing we were going to look at today is we were going to take a look at, so as you guys know, in Hack the Box, you know, you go to machines. This is where most of the stuff that you do in Hack the Box is here in the machines. Have people done Starting Point yet?
I've done like the first 4 boxes or something like that.
So
Everything that's free.
Yeah, this is a relatively new thing. And I guess I did the first 4 boxes too. So each of these has a write-up. So this is, again, it's a machine that you can hack for free that has an explanation of how to do it. Which has always been my complaint about Hack the Box, is they're just like, okay, good luck, you know? So this is a good starting point. Again, if you want something maybe not as guided as Try Hack Me, but you want, this is a place that you guys could be looking at. The other thing is Academy.
Yeah, those are great.
So
I've got a subscription to that.
They've been improving. Well, this one doesn't have a subscription, does it?
Yeah, like just to make getting the cubes cheaper, I signed up for the subscription.
Oh, you're right. It does say subscribe now. So this was my complaint about it before, is it's per cube.
But you can do a lot without, there's a lot of modules that are only like 10 cubes, so you can get done like a lot without having to subscribe.
So this is the thing I really hate about the Academy is that they have this microtransaction setup. And it's not even like a modern it's like a microtransaction setup from 2010, right? Like you played like those games like Clash of Clans and stuff where they would have gold coins and diamonds and you had to buy it was like that. So they have cubes, right? And you create a free account, you get 40 cubes. All of the tier 0 stuff costs 10 cubes to unlock. And then when you complete it, you get 10 cubes. So you can do all the tier 0 stuff for free, which is quite a bit. The learning process, the introduction to the Academy, the Linux fundamentals, stack-based buffer overflow, which we talked about a couple weeks ago, file transfers, file inclusion, SQL injection, a lot of great stuff here. And some of this is new. Some of this is new that wasn't here before. So you can do a lot for free. Tier 1, these are 50 cubes. So at this point, you have to start paying. And there's like, so you can go through their thing and buy cubes. I never bought cubes because it's just a process is annoying to me. But they did not, yeah. So you click here, purchase cubes. But, student, so you guys go out qualify for student. Oh, this is interesting. Are you on the student tier, Jason?
No, I need to move. That's new.
Okay, yeah. So this is a new thing. So for $8 a month, you get tier 0, 1. You already get 0 for free, but you'll get tier 1 and 2. That's actually a pretty good deal. So that's pretty reasonable. Not this cube thing. Because really, what you would want to do is, even if you're going to do a whole bunch of stuff, you would do platinum for 1 month and then cancel it and keep the cubes.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Hack the Box Academy is another thing. As you guys start looking at your summer, you guys should start planning, hey, what am I going to be doing to kind of enhance my skills, to learn things. But today we are looking at challenges. It's still in here under labs. And the nice thing about challenges is you don't really need to log in to anything. Actually, some of them might have a VPN. They have a lot of really interesting challenges here, right? So this is what Jason was talking about, the hardware ones that got him through some of those challenges at CTF. Reversing, which is reverse engineering, which is programming related. If you're kind of down that path, I'm going to tell you right now, most of these have many of them have a programming setup, or a programming, portion. Web, MD5 for life. So these are all kind of websites that web challenges. I don't know what's under miscellaneous. What's under misdirection? Okay, so this is some files, and you got to look through them to find suspicious activity. Okay, that's interesting. Forensics. So again, they're gonna give you files, and you'll have to go through them. Crypto, which would be, let's see, look at Flippin' Bank. Hackers found a way in and locked the admins out. Netcat authentication by the intruders is not perfectly secure. How can you help the admins log in? So this one, you do have to start up a challenge. This one's interesting. I don't have any prepared, but I did look at this one. So this one you have to start, but it's just a web page. Can you encrypt fast enough? So then they give us a URL. I'm going to copy it. Let me go ahead and I can send it to all of you guys. Open up a tab. And what do we got? MD5 encrypt the string. Let me copy it. Encrypt. There's a free one online. What is this? I have to log in. I thought this was America. Okay, I'll just do this on the command prompt. So MD5 sum. MD5 sum, let's see, -H. That is super annoying. Okay, MD5 sum. So this expects a file. Okay, with no file or when the file is dash, read standard input. All right, so MD5 sum, like that, paste that in, Control D, and it gives me that. Copy that, paste it in. Too slow, but it looks like it was right. That. Too slow. What if I put in garbage? Oh, so it doesn't tell me if I got it right. It just tells me too slow. Okay.
So you have to script it.
So,
So you either bash script it or you Python script it.
so this looks like it looks like a scripting challenge, right? Does everybody agree?
Can you use burp?
Can we use burp? So we will use burp. Burp doesn't solve the problem of fastly encrypting it and sending it back, right? But burp does allow us, so let me go ahead and let me make a little room. Fire up burp. So going right to burp is a great instinct on any web challenge. It just gives you a lot of information to work with. I'm not going to update now. I'm going to use temporary project. I'm going to start it with burp defaults. And then I'm going to move this over so we can kind of look at both. Okay, so let me go to, no, I don't want to go to repeater. I want to go to proxy. Yeah, so by default, when you fire up burp, intercept is on. I want to turn it off because I just want to see what gets sent back and forth. And then over here, I have to turn on my proxy. So I have this thing called Foxy Proxy. So Foxy Proxy allows me to quickly set up my proxy. So I configured a proxy for burp by default in my Foxy Proxy. Otherwise, I can go here. I can go to preferences, and then search for proxy. Go to my network settings, and I can do a manual proxy, which is anybody happen to remember what the burp default proxy is?
8080. And I think you got to use the forward slashes after the HTTP.
Yes, I do. Okay, and I'll turn it on for everything right now, and then I gotta make it bigger so you can, there, click OK. So, oh wait, no, did it wrong. Gotta put the port over here.
Yeah.
And now click OK. So now I've turned on the proxy, right? So now if I go to anything, if I go to, www.google.com, if I go to HTTP, oh no, it's not.
I think you might need to get rid of the HTTP : //
Yeah, I think you're all right. Click OK. So now if I go here, Still not doing anything. Let's go to well, it's going through here. So it is sending, but it's not, there's nothing coming back. But that's fine. That means it's being sent through here. So I can go in here in Firefox and change my settings. I'm going to set it back to no proxy, click OK. And then I'm going to use my Foxy proxy, which I just recommend you all install it because you can put that information in here and boom, I can turn on burp like that. And now if let me go ahead and refresh this page. Right, we can see here that I sent this post request, right? And if I put in FFFFF and click submit, right, you can see that I sent another post request. And if I click on this down here, you can see the raw message that I sent. Or excuse me, this is the raw response. And I can see, yeah, here's my request, which is raw, right? And it does have a session ID. So let me look at this one right here. So the session ID doesn't change, right? So I do need to use that cookie every time I talk to it, but that shouldn't change. And I sent it the hash equals that, and it sent me back too slow along with a new number to be hashed. Everybody kind of on board with what's going on here? So what do I do now?
Fire up Python.
Fire up Python, right? So yeah, Python is probably going to be the choice. So yeah, Python should be the scripting language that you guys should go to instinctively. Why? What makes Python so great?
It's the syntax reads like English. It's pretty easy to learn. There's packages for almost anything.
It's that part. So it is a clean language and it's really easy to write in. But the big thing is the libraries. It's the support libraries. If I start breaking this down into things I have to do, Python has a library for each of them. What's the first thing that I have to do?
You get a text editor open.
No, I mean to solve this problem,
Oh,
to solve this challenge.
You're gonna have to find a library that can encrypt. Well, two things, I guess. Find a library that can encrypt a string to MD5, and find a library that can communicate with the server.
All right, so I have to be able to download the HTTP page, right? The GET request. I have to then actually. It's another thing. I have to process the HTML in order to get that number that they're sending me. Then I have to MD5 it. Then I have to post it back, right? Those are the challenges that I need to do in order to solve this problem. Python is going to have the best tools for all of those. So let me go here. No, that's the wrong one. What did they call this challenge?
MD5 for life.
MD5 for life. I'm just going to call it MD. All right. can be.
That wouldn't be good.
So user bin Python 3. Now you could use Python 2 for this, but it's a good habit to start getting into Python 3. By the way, you may notice on my machine that I always specify Python 3. If you see other stuff, or a lot of you, if you have like a more up-to-date version of Kali, the default Python is Python 3, right? Because Python 2, they ended support like a couple of months ago. The issue is a lot of those Git libraries and tools and things that you're downloading still use Python 2, right? And they're not going to get updated because it's old stuff, but we still use it all the time. So there's a way to set up like virtual environments in Kali to keep your, to force it to use your old Python. I can post a link in the Slack space later to an article explaining that, but just that might be why if you type Python, you get Python 3. If I type Python, I get Python 2. So I always specify Python 3. All right, so first thing I need to do is Python HTTP request library. Oh, and it's grumbling at me because it's using burp. And this is another reason I really like Foxy proxies, because I can just turn that off. So so this is the Python requests library. Okay. Allows me to make requests. Get requests.
That's definitely the library to use.
Okay, but can I send the information back with this?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, so it does say that I can do posts. So this looks right. So let me go ahead and throw import requests in here. And then I'm going to set a variable, my target, and I'm going to make my target this URL.
I wouldn't use the $sign.
Did I put a $sign in there?
Yeah, you're in bash mode.
My bad. Jason, did you just let somebody in?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, good. Because they showed up and then they were gone. All right. So that's the URL I'm going to target. And then over here on this Python request, so it's just requests.get. So let's try requests.get, and we're going to get target. And I'm going to, I'm going to print that. And I'm going to go ahead and split my screen. And then down here, I'm going to do Python 3. Okay. So it looks like this works, right? It looks like I got a response. So it gives me a status code, but what if I want to get the actual text of the web page? This is just checking the status code. This is all checking the status code. I'm just going to assume, there we go, get the content. All right, so I can get a response and then check response.content. So let's do response equals requests.get target. Oop. And then down here, response dot do content. Okay. You guys see the target there? Let me run it again. So it seems like it's giving us a unique number each time. Now, one thing I want to point out to you is that my request isn't, we haven't done anything with cookies yet, and we might not need to. It might just allow us to just send it. So that'll be interesting to see if we need to mess around with the cookies or not.
You do, I can tell you how to do it real quick if you want.
So you've already done this one?
Yeah, well, I've done it, and I also just, it's just something you, it's just good practice when you're doing, is to create a session. So you just, you just create a session and then you run requests off of the session. So the session, you know, is it establishes a connection with the server. It'll save your cookies, and then any GET request that you send with that session, it uses those same cookies and uses that same established handshake connection. So it's faster and it uses the cookies.
Well, tell you what, do you have yours up and running right now?
I can start mine, yeah.
Yeah. So why don't we, if you've done this one, why don't you do it? That'd be good. I want to see that.
Okay, let me,
Because I did not know that about, you know, but this is kind of my process, is I just start Googling stuff and poking around and building.
okay, let me.
Oh, you're using Parrot?
Yeah,
I still refuse.
I love it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I really do. I started using it and just haven't looked back. Let's see. What are we doing? Challenges. What category was this?
This was web.
Okay. Yeah, so I think I did it in both Bash and Python, but so let's just create a new one. So I like to use Sublime as my text editor, just because it seems to be easier to run and check my content.
Mhm.
So let's see, call it md.py. So we'll do the shebang user then Python 3. So we do need the requests library. We're also going to need something to catch that that content. So I think it's going to be, I think it's, let's see. From BS4 import beautiful soup. So beautiful soup is a Python library that allows you to very easily select like tags and anything in a page that is related to, you know, a specific tag, rather than, you know, the other alternative would be to use regex. But I found beautiful soup to be a little easier. So looks like I was close, but not quite. So from, this is the package, and then this is what I want to import. What else do we have to do? Oh, we have to convert it to MD5. So this is how we can do an MD5 with a library called PyCryptodome, which is like a really awesome library that does all kind of crypto stuff. And then it shows you how we can do that. So we can create a new MD5 and then update it, or we can just put it inside there. So let's just copy that. So these are kind of like the three things that we're going to need. We need a way to communicate with the server, which is through requests. We need a way to pull out that MD5 string, which we can do with beautiful soup. And then we need a way to convert it into a hash so that we can send it back, and we can do that with crypto hash MD5. So typically, okay, so then we need a target. I didn't open up Hack the Box, but
You can just, I posted the link.
oh, it's in the chat.
It's in the chat. Or it's the, yeah, the, I'll do it again. There.
Oh, okay. So target is, okay, so yeah, so we would do like, I guess we don't have to do a context manager, but normally you would do something like, so this just basically, this is what they call a context manager. And so anything that's indented here, it will be handled in this session. So once I unindent, then it'll close this particular HTTP session. It's not really necessary to do that, but it's a best practice. And so when you do this, our session is called session. The other way of doing it would be just to say, to do that. So then we can do, let's do, so the response would be, Um, and so to see if that works, because this would be our response, and we can even add content onto that. And so RES should have that content that we're looking for. So we can just check that print response. And so this is kind of why I like Sublime, because I could just test it. So I saved it, and then I ran build, which is like save Control S, build is Control B. And so you can see that it did go out there and grab the content. And so and you can see our MD5 string is right here. So session, when you do session, anything that, so I can continue to send requests, like I can send another request, like the same thing. Let's do it again. Copy this again. So I can do the same thing twice. Oops, I haven't paid for Sublime. And you can see that it went out and got it again. But these two requests are both being handled under the same session. So each of these requests was sent with the cookies, which is cool. So now after let me get rid of this. So now we have to figure out a way to grab that MD5 string. And so it's inside this heading 3 tag. You can see it's H3. So let's figure out how to do that with Beautiful Soup. I can't remember. I mean, I could just look at my notes, but that might not be as helpful to everybody else.
Let's see.
Import Beautiful Soup. So we can turn the page. So the first thing we have to do is turn the page into a Beautiful Soup object. And this is usually the best way to do that. So I'll just copy that. And this should be response. And then you can just see what it says when I print it. Oops. This should say, oh, this, I don't need this. There we go. So now it's much prettier. So I took this response, which has the content, right? I created a Beautiful Soup object out of it, and I fed the page content, which is stored in, this might make more sense to people if I called it response. Fed it to this Beautiful Soup function, and LXML is just a formatting thing. You could also use something different. There's one other one that works, but LXML seems to work the best. And then printed out the soup object that I saved, and it formats it nicely for me. So now I've got to find a way to grab that H3 tag, this thing. And if you look on the page, the only H3 tag is the tag that has the MD5 string. So that's why I'm targeting the H3 tag. So find all div elements that are inside of it, blah, 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 preceded by an H3 element. Okay, that's find elements that contain the data we want. Soup select selector. So let's try, oh, there we go. Let's try to scrape the text in heading. Soup, find H3. Okay, so I want to find the H3 tag, and then I want to get the text out of it. So let's see if we can do that. So let's call it data is equal to soup find, and we want to find the H3 tag, but then we also want to get the text out of the H3 tag. So I can just show you let's try that and then print data. Okay, so when we did the soup find H3, it got us the whole tag, but what we want is just the inside part of it. So to do that, we can just do text. So we don't have to do it in 2 steps. We can just do it in 1 step. We can just add text here. Awesome. So now we have the string that we need. So now we need to encrypt that string and then send it back. The data is currently holding the string that we need to encode. So now we need to encode it. So it's going to be something like hash is equal to, and we're going to do this MD5. So MD5 dot, or maybe it's MD5 dot new, I think. So no, that's not it. MD5, oh, no. H equals MD5 dot new. Oh, I have to give it bytes. Okay, so I think that's what it is. Let's try it. Okay, so data, if you look at data, it's a string, right? And so this MD5 function doesn't take a string. You can see where it updates this hash. It uses something with a B in the front. And anything with a B in the front, in front of a string in Python means that it's a byte string. So when you read in from files and stuff like that, you typically read them in as bytes, not as text. And so previously that string was text. I need to encode it into bytes so that it looks like this B. So to do that, I can just add encode to it, and that encodes it into a byte string. So let's just check. And so it makes it into a byte string. So then I should be able to create the hash. Oops. And it creates the hash. But now I have to find a way to print it. .25 hash. So hex digest, printable digest, return the binary non-printable digest.
I think it's Hex Digest.
Okay, so let's do, well, we can do print hash. There we go. So here's this is the hex version of it. I don't know if that's what they're trying to get us to send.
Yeah, because that would probably be what you would get from the MD5 sum command.
So let's do this. Let's print. Let's print data. Okay, so let's take this and go to our and do echo this MD5 sum. So C1940C blah, C1940C. Okay, yeah, so this is identical. So that's what we want. So this is working. So we need to, all I need to do is add hex digest to the end of this thing, and that should give us the hash that we're looking for. Cool. So now we need to find a way to send this thing back. And we need to find, so to do that, we need to post this data to this same URL. So to do that, we need to create like a JSON object where we post the way that it needs to be posted. So let me see. Let me just try and print this truth here so I can see it. So type submit, method post. So I think I need to post it to submit. I'm gonna cheat.
Yeah, the burp had it was hash equals, and then the hash.
Oh, it was hash equals and then the hash
Yeah,
when you posted it?
yeah.
Okay, so that means that the parameter is hash. So we need to create like a something like this. Hash, and then so this is the parameter called hash, and then this is the value hash. So then we need to post it. Let's see. How to post with requests. That one, this is like a really good, real Python has pretty good stuff. Okay, so we do the URL and then the data with a key value pair, which is what we're doing. So the key is hash and the value is the hash that we created. So we need to do a request post with this data. So let's do that. except we're going to do it with session. So we'll call this my data. And so now we need to post this stuff. So it's going to be something like session post target my data. And we'll just call that response. Okay, so we created the data that we needed to send, and when we posted it again, it looks like it just sent us another string,
Another hash.
another hash. So what that tells us is that we need to do this a bunch of times. The question is how many times. So we can do that. So let's try looping this thing. So let's just try it 100 times, I guess. Let's see if this makes sense. So we're going to get this URL and pull down the content. Then we're going to create a beautiful soup object out of the page content, which is stored in soup. Then we're going to find the H3 tag, the content inside the H3 tag, and we're going to encode it into bytes because it's currently a string. We're going to pass those bytes to this MD5 function that's going to create a new hash, and we're going to get the content of that hash by using the hash digest function. So that gives us the hash. We're going to create a Python. This is called a Python dictionary, or a dict, where you have a key value pair. So, and this is also how you make post requests. You have keys and values. So we're going to create a Python dict that has a key value pair with a key hash and the value of the hash that we created. And then we're going to post to the target the content that we need to post. And then we're going to print a response. So, but I'm going to do it for I in a range 100 means I'm going to do it 100 times. Because I'm not really sure what the response is supposed to look like when it's successful. So I'll just print the response each time to my post and see what happens. So let's try it. Oh, well, that's probably not going to be very helpful. So let's do something more helpful. What was it? Content? What's that?
Ah,
And it looks like it's stored in, well, yeah. So, but you can see that on the 99th try, which is probably the 100th try, that we have this, the flag. Nice scripting, boy. So yeah, that would be, you know, so all we did was loop it 100 times. I don't know how I ended up doing it. Let me see what my, let me look at what I did before. So, I can't believe I didn't loop it. Did I not loop this thing? Is there a loop in here that I'm not seeing?
I don't see a loop, but maybe you just, you know, clicked it like 100 times until you got, because you're printing the flag, right? You're this one, you're only printing the actual text we're interested in. So you might have just run it. Did you run it from the command prompt and just keep hitting the up arrow?
No, because that wouldn't, no, I know. That's weird. Like, request session, get target, blah, byte string. I mean, I did pretty much the same thing. And to me, it would seem like this might not work. And I don't know why it's not even finishing.
Because your URL is going to be different.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
But this does work.
Yeah.
And so it looked like it was what, on the 99th try? So I did one extra one.
Mhm.
So if I probably did 99 and then went down here and then did flag page response content, and then flag is equal to p get text, flag soup. Okay, so I'm getting the response each time, and then I'm going to turn the response. Oh, well, let's do this. This shouldn't be inside the loop. So the final response is going to be stored here, and then I'm going to create what's called, I'll just call it soup. And then I'm going to use the content of that, and the flag should be, because the flag we saw was stored in the P tag, a paragraph tag, and I want to get the text out of it. Let's see if this works. And actually, let's just do this so we know that something's happening. There we go.
All right.
And so, then after you do that, you could probably get rid of the count, or you can make it pretty and have it do it like count modulo 10 and have it tell you when it's 10% done, 20% done, whatnot. Just curious real quick. Yeah, so I think I did it in Bash as well.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just copy this target. So I created a cookies file. And so there's curl has a commands that allows you to store cookies in a file, and then when you run curl again, you could read the cookies out of a file, which was the most complicated part of this. Is finding out what the command lines were to store the cookies and then read the cookies in a later curl statement. But this creates the MD5 hash by curling the website host is just a variable. So it's curling this host. It's taking the content that it spits out and it's grepping for a word, because all of them, I guess I figured out that they were all size 20. So this pulls out any string that is 20 characters in size. Then it's it's deleting the new line from the end of it, generating the MD5 sum, and then this cut command just cuts the little dash out from the end of it, because you'll see it has this little dash, and we don't want that.
Yeah.
So this gets rid of it, just selects field 1, and then it curls. It reads from the cookies file, so it sends the same cookie, it sends the hash to the target, and then it looks for hack the box. I don't know if this still works. Let's try it. No, I don't know why. For some reason, this isn't. I didn't create like a loop.
Maybe you ran it in a loop in Bash.
Yeah, that's weird. Well, anyway, we did it in Python.
Yeah. All right. Good job, Jason. That's a really good solution. Anybody have any questions for Jason?
I hope that was followable.
Yeah, I have a question. Going back to the post request, how did you find what's the key and the value?
Oh, so you can do that using burp. So let's just you can find it using burp, or you can also probably find it by curling it. But let's do burp. I think I probably have too much stuff open. So now that burp's open, let's I've been doing some RSA stuff. There we go. So I use proxy just like the professor. So I'll turn that on, and then let's try you can see it caught it. So go back to burp, look at the proxy, and so this is the request. And you can see down here, it shows you hash equals. So that tells you that it's sending the post as so the key value pair is going to be the key is hash and the value here is test, 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 test. So when you go over to your Python script, the key is going to be hash and the value is going to be test, test, test. So when I created this hash is related to, this is the name of the key, which is hash. And then this is the actual hash that we computed over here. Does that make sense? So you just open it up in burp, create a post request, and look at what's inside the body content. A post request is going to send the data here inside the body in this format, or in a format that looks like a JSON. You know, it looks kind of like what you saw here. This sort of JSON format. A GET request will send it inside the URL. So you'll see it up here at the top, and it'll be like question mark, and then you'll see hash equals test, test, test. If there's multiple ones, you'll see question mark hash equals test, 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 and then you'll see an and sign, and then you'll see another name. Just like when you create like any. So let's just show you. Oops. So up here at the top, you see where it has search, and then it has a question mark, and then Q equals searching for. That's what I typed in. So when you do a GET request, it's going to add the parameters inside the URL. But when you do a POST request, it doesn't do anything to the URL. It just adds it inside the body as post data. And so in our case, when we sent something, you can see that it doesn't add it to the URL. It gets sent inside the content, inside the request body. Did that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you, Jason.
Okay.
Catherine, burp is part of Kali. So you can,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
How
So
come
you,
I don't see it on mine? Do I?
I think on mine I had it favorited, but if you click on, if you search, you should find it there.
Oh, okay. And same with the MD5?
The MD5 sum is the command line argument that's built into Kali.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
And you can like download and install burp community edition for free from online too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, guys, this has been great. I'm running out of time. Thanks everybody. Jason, awesome. Thank you so much. That was a great explanation of how to do that challenge. Take a look at these challenges, guys. They're really good opportunities to start learning new skills. That this stuff does come up in National Cyber League. It certainly will, you know, and a lot of the stuff I see on Hack the Box is like a precursor to what you're going to see in National Cyber League in a semester or two. So if you want to up your score, this would be a good place to start. All right, guys?
All right. Thank you for showing, Abby.
Yeah,
Bye.
good job, Jason.
Yeah, thank you. And if anybody needs help or is going to do that later, just hit me up on
All right.
Slack.
Okay, bye.
See you guys.